MTC offers a large range of optics that accommodate all skill levels of shooters. Whether you're hunting, just getting into shooting sports, or competing at the highest level of shooting sports, MTC Optics builds purpose-driven scopes with advanced reticle systems to maximize your ballistic success. Hi everybody, I am Jared Clark. Today we're going to be taking a look at the MTC scope line in its entirety, highlighting some unique features at each model, and hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of which scope would suit your needs the best. In front of me is every model of MTC scope that is currently available, and we are going to dissect them and talk about each and every one. But before we do that, we want to touch quickly on the reticle systems that MTC Optics utilize. They have a total of 3 reticles. The first one we're going to talk about is the fine duplex reticle. This reticle is only available in the very first scope here, the MTC Mamba Ultralight, and with that, it's on the auto parallaxing only unit. So this one is kind of, the idea is it for rimfire or centerfire, not specifically airgun as the rest of them were kind of intended for, but they can be used interchangeably. What makes this one specific for rimfire is A, the parallax reticle, as well as B, you can only focus at a minimum distance of 50 meters. They offer another model with the SCB2 reticle that is focusable down to 10 meters and a great option for airgun shooters or anyone described. Both the SCB2 and the AMD reticle populate the rest of the line. So the majority of their scopes have either the AMD2 reticle or the SCB2 reticle. This is a mil-radian spaced reticle with a floating intersection point. So as you can see, the intersection point right here, as well as the illumination point on a lot of these scopes, is floating all by itself, and each line represents 1/2 of a mil-radian. So where that line, the first line stops is 1/2 of a mil-radian, and then you'll notice as we go down, left or right, we'll have markings. The large markings are at 1 mil-radian from the center. The small mil markings are at 1/2 mil-radian. So you have intervals in large mil-radians, small hash marks are in 1/2 mil-radians. As you can see, the reticles look very similar. The AMD has floating windage, whereas the SCB has a Christmas style or a Christmas tree. As you can see, it gradually gets bigger as it goes down. So both are great for using ballistic calculators. You can see your miss and hold over accordingly. You can see your miss and then adjust the reticle accordingly. But the main idea behind both these reticles is they were made for shooters, not just airgun shooters, specifically by airgun shooters, but with the mil-radian spacing, the holdover points, as well as the adjustment, you can really calculate it into any shooting application. Starting first, we're going to look at the MTC Mamba Ultralight. This is a 1-inch tube, and it is kind of the idea is in the name. It's an ultralight scope, very lightweight. It's adjustable between 3 and 10 magnification with a 40mm objective. This scope comes with the SCB2 reticle and will focus down to 10 meters with the SCB2 reticle. They also have a model with a standard duplex reticle that will focus down to 50 meters and would ideally probably be used for a rimfire or a high-powered airgun that you never want to shoot inside of 50 meters. The next model on the MTC line here is going to be the Mamba Lite. This is the big brother to the Ultralight. It's also a 1-inch body tube, and it's available in 2 different magnifications. This scope uses the SCB2 reticle and also has an illuminated reticle option that will illuminate that floating middle intersection point for you. You get the flip-up caps included, and this scope would be great for any small game hunting, backyard plinking, anything you could think of starting to do with an airgun, kind of getting your feet wet and figuring out how an airgun works ballistically with the holdover reticle. The MTC Copperhead. This is a second focal plane scope, and this is one of the newer offerings from MTC Optics. I personally think this is a great hunting scope for someone who is not your novice hunter. It uses the new AMD2 reticle, which gives you lots of holdover without being too crowded. You can still look through the reticle, see your entire target, and have all your holdover points accordingly. It adjusts in the mil-radian 1/10 clicks, and has an illuminated optic option as well. This scope overall length is much more compact, which is why I think it suits a hunting need, but could also arguably be a great option for field target or any other plinking or backyard use. The next scope in front of me is the Viper Connect, and this is the first of our zero eye relief scopes. MTC makes a very unique scope that works almost like a binocular reticle. So to get my full picture, I have to have this pretty much touching my eye here. That'll rule it out immediately for center fire use. Maybe arguably some rim fire with low recoil, but air gun use is kind of the idea and the purpose behind these scopes. When you get it that close and you have no air gun recoil, I have a massive sight picture in relation to the amount of magnification I have. So with this, you have the ability to see your target, you have the ability to make sure the area behind you is nice and clear. It's a great option for hunters in that aspect, because you're not just getting zeroed in and losing sight of what's behind you. It gives you the biggest possible sight picture relative to the magnification you're running. And has a other cool feature that is unique to this scope. It has an inclination meter here on the side. So if I'm looking up in a tree, if I'm looking up at the barn, you have the information right here. As you turn it up, it will tell you what degree your scope is sitting at. So if you're using a ballistic app, that's great information to have and will just help you be successful for reaching out there and hitting shots at known distances. Staying with the zero eye relief, the next two scopes are the SWAT Series. This one is a little bit more tactical than the Viper Connect. It comes built in with a Picatinny mount. So this one comes with the mount. There's nothing else you need to attach it to a pick rail. And then you can see on the side here, it also has some mill angle adjustments built right into this. So you can actually, in the mount itself, add in 6 mil increments, I believe. Yeah, up to 24. So you can do 6, 12, 18, or 24 mils of pointing your scope up or down to help you reach out and zero your scope and set it up however you really like it. This one is fixed at 10 power magnification, whereas the big brother here is the 12 power magnification. And like I said, I kind of see these as tactical. You want to keep it nice and tight, but still get, 12 power magnification is quite a bit for such a small optic. So these are unique. I don't think you would use them for bench rest since they're fixed at a 10 or a 12 power, but carrying in the field, putting it on top of a hunting rig, truck gun, lots of different applications that would make this very usable and incorporate the SCB2 reticle that they use. You can really be accurate out to 100+ yards. The last line in the MTC Optics scope line is the King Cobra, and this is arguably the top of the line scope for them. And it comes, I have 2 of them sitting here, and it's not just for redundancy. They come as a second focal plane option as well as a first focal plane option. The biggest difference between a first and second focal plane is on the second focal plane, my reticle will always stay the same size. It doesn't matter if I'm on 6 power or if I'm on 24 power, my reticle will stay the same size. On the first focal plane, 6 power, my reticle will be small. 24 power, it will be occupying the majority of my sight picture. So the reticle increases and decreases with the power magnification. Everyone has their own preference. Start shooting one, you really can't go wrong. It will just at the end of the day boil down to what you like, what works for you, and more importantly, what you get used to. So there's no right or wrong answer to first or second focal, but the King Cobra is offered in both of those setups. Along with that, there is a 4 to 16 power, a 6 to 24 power, and an 8 to 32 power available in both setups. So you have a lot of magnification available in the King Cobra, and that's because, like I said, it's the top of the line scope, arguably would be their bench rest scope. These use Japanese glass, so you're gonna have the best glass clarity. They have glass etched reticles. So precision, quality, this is the top of the line for MTC Optics in the King Cobra. And if you try one out, you would see why they claim that. It is a lot of scope and you're not really breaking the bank to get into it. Each model of MTC scopes does come with a limited lifetime warranty. The original user has a no-fault lifetime warranty here in the United States. So if anything ever happens, manufacturer defect, catastrophic failure, contact the dealer that you purchased it from, and they can work with MTC to get you a lifetime full replacement on any of these optics. So not only are these designed with shooters in mind, they are also very accommodating to shooters' lifestyles and understand that things do happen. And if you decide to invest in an MTC Optics, they will stand behind you for lifetime of the product. So that is a quick snapshot and look at MTC Optics as a whole. I hope you found this video informative, and I hope it might have answered some questions you may have regarding the MTC line. MTC is high quality optics, and they are built with shooters in mind. So like I said, if you do decide that you want to go out and try one of these, be confident and know that MTC will have your back as a shooter and will always stand behind the product. For more information or to purchase this product, visit airgunsofArizona.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Come back for the next one.